All right. For all you guys who saw my first video, HP4 CBR walk around comparison, wasn't really, couldn't do a whole lot because I hadn't ridden the BMW too much, actually at all. So now I've got some miles in on the bike. It's de-restricted now, and wow. What a beast. This thing is powerful, fast, all that stuff. It's just crazy. It'd pull the front wheel up, even when it was restricted. Pretty crazy machine. It's got power everywhere. I mean, except down low. Most of your leader bikes don't have a lot of power down low. In your inline 4 bikes anyway. Don't have a lot of power under 5,000, 4,000 RPMs, but that's really not relevant to most of us. We just turn the throttle more, so it's kind of a give and take, I guess. I've done a few things to it. Went one down, sprocket in the front, put some tech spec grips on it, integrated tail light. Gutted the catalytic converter down here. Hopefully get some more power through the RPM range by doing that. It's kind of the big mod, I guess, on these. Get rid of the cat. Bike pretty much has everything else. From the factory, they give it 193 horsepower at the crank, 83 foot-pounds of torque. It's pretty crazy for a leader bike. In fact, on 2 wheels, I saw on the internet, compared this to the standard S1000RR, and in their words, it was significantly faster in all tests, quarter mile and all roll-ons, than the standard S1000RR. It is on the internet, you can look it up. Those are stock models. Of course, I've seen some guys on the internet who have faster S1000RRs after some mods and that kind of thing, which is cool. More power to them. One thing I have noticed about the bike, when you're riding around town, the faster you go, the better it feels. I think the DDC, the dynamic damping control, has something to do with that. But when you get this bike going a little bit, it feels a lot better. Going slow, it's a little sluggish, but I'll kind of talk about that later. The looks of the bike, it's kind of a love-hate type deal. See them in the mags, everything, they look a little odd, but the more you look at it, it grows on you, especially if you own one. Obviously you're gonna be partial to the looks, but everywhere I go with it or have gone, people really compliment the bike. It's got the asymmetrical sides. Front end is, of course, got the legendary small eye, big eye going on there, but like I said, I really like the looks of the bike now after owning it, but I'm partial. So this is the lightest inline 4 leader bike ever made, and they got to that targeted weight with lighter wheels, lighter sprocket carrier, titanium Krapovic exhaust, which alone sheds 10 pounds off the bike. And of course a smaller battery. They say lightweight battery, but I don't think it's any lightweight or lighter weight per se than any other battery of its size. I just think it's a smaller battery that they put in it. And of course, if you really remove the rear fender like I did, and the passenger pegs, it gets even lighter. I'll probably throw in a lithium iron battery to make it even lighter. Another thing I noticed, the brakes on this beast. These Brembo brakes are crazy good. Wow. I don't know, they are outstanding. Probably the best brakes I've ever had on a stock sport bike, by far. And you can throw stainless steel brake lines on other bikes and get it up there, but this thing certainly doesn't need it. And with the ABS, they're going to perform even better in certain situations. Also, the rear tire on this, and I didn't get to this in my last video, and it's pretty hard to see here in the dark. The rear tire on this thing is a 200 series, which is pretty cool. It looks awesome. I'm going to give you a little more tire surface and lean. I haven't had a whole lot of opportunity to get this thing out in the twisties or anything yet. Weather's been pretty shitty. And as where I'm living now, there's just not a lot of opportunity to get to any decent roads. So, but I'll get her out there. What I can tell so far, though, is they're pretty good tires, pretty good stock tires. They are Pirellis. They're pretty good tires. I can tell by just kind of zipping around town that they're going to perform pretty good. Bike also has launch control. You get her up to about 8,000 RPMs and put on the launch control, I should say, first. Rev her up to about 8,000. It'll regulate your launch. So if you're in a race or whatever, I don't have any use for that, but a lot of guys do probably. Then again, who knows? You never know. Might give it a whirl. If time allows, or I'm in a race or whatever. Don't anticipate that. But the bike has 4 rider modes. It's going to be rain, sport, race, and of course the slick mode. Let's see if I can get you a picture of that. You can kind of see. Yeah, right now I got her in slick. Let's see if I can switch these modes. There you go. Back off a little bit. Right now it's in slick, rain, sport, race, and back down into slick. Pretty mean setup. Pretty handy. I don't know. I don't anticipate putting it in rain a whole lot, but you never know, I guess. Rain, of course, being the least powerful, slick being the most intense in terms of twitchiness of the throttle, that kind of thing. And the least intervention from the electronics in slick mode as well. So, heated grips, wow. Just tried those out today for the first time. It was amazing. I never thought I would use something like that, but made the ride a whole lot more comfortable. It was pretty cold here today, relatively speaking. So, you know, it is what it is. The ABS can be switched on or off for those of you who want to turn it off. In slick mode, the dynamic traction control has 14 settings, +7 down to a -7, 0 being kind of the in between, the happy medium, I guess, if you will. Damping is also adjustable according to the riding mode that you're in. So no more, you know, that bike's going to do it for you automatically. You can adjust it electronically through the controls as well, if you'd like to. I think for the street, the guy probably doesn't have to really do that. whole lot, but it's a pretty nice feature to have. There really aren't a whole lot of faults with this bike. I mean, you guys saw my CBR, and I can say that I like this bike so much I sold the CBR, so that's just the way it is. But I did notice a few things about it. The bike technically doesn't run any hotter than a lot of other bikes, temperature-wise, but for some reason it really throws a lot of heat out on the left side, and I think through here it must put out a lot of heat. My leg over on that side really gets warm on the bike. Also, another thing I noticed was it's pretty vibey. The handlebars, there's a lot of vibration compared to some of the other bikes, the CBR in particular. I don't know if that's just the characteristic of the bike from what I understand, but it was pretty vibey, but certainly not crazy. I'm sure I can live with it. Knowing all the other positive aspects of the bike, I can live with that. I'm just used to a tad smoother ride. Another thing I noticed, the wheels weren't balanced out of the factory, and the BMW mechanic told me that was kind of standard for them to not balance the wheels. That kind of sucks. I had to take it in, get the wheels balanced. Also had some problems. One of the headlights didn't work, the high beam. Must have been right from the factory almost. I don't know what had happened, but I guess on the forums that's kind of a common problem with these bikes. So be on the lookout for that if you buy one. Well, the mechanic said he's never seen it before, but other than that, the quick shifter also is a bit notchy. You can't really see anything over here, but yeah, it's kind of down there. But aftermarket quick shifters, I have no doubt, are better. I had one on my CBR, and it seems smoother. Although this one is getting better the more miles that I put on the bike. So maybe it's just loosening up, or who knows, but it doesn't seem to be quite as good as an aftermarket, but nonetheless it is more than adequate, unless you're a racer or that kind of thing. But like I said, I like this bike so much I did sell the CBR, so it is gone, and this thing, I'm glad I got one.